A bad casting decision won't hinder a bad movie, but the wrong person in the wrong role and the good movie becomes golden Razzie fare. Since the first silent films, casting agents have made some dubious choices to portray legendary or pop culture figures. When an actor gives an authentic, believable performance, the results can be spectacular. But sometimes, a star just doesn't fit into a role no matter how much Hollywood tries to shoehorn them into the part of, say, young Anakin Skywalker. That doesn't stop them from trying, however. The worst examples of miscasting are a masterclass in bad acting choices, cheap accents, and cringe-inducing line deliveries. Whatever the reason, there are plenty of terribly miscast roles throughout movie history, and here are 10 worst. Don't forget to like and comment, and also make sure to press subscribe button for more awesome videos. 10. Colin Farrell, Daredevil. Playing a villain allows an actor to get a little theatrical, to chew a little scenery, dabble in Pacino but without blowing a neck vein. Should be great fun to do and great fun to watch, especially in a comic book movie. But sometimes actors go so far overboard that they elicit unintentional laughter. And that's exactly what happened when Colin Farrell took on the role of Marvel Comics Bullseye in 2003's Daredevil. Throwing all nuance and subtlety out the window, Farrell turned this terrifying comic book villain into a bold joke, complete with atrocious one-liner and over-the-top mannerisms. He flipped the switch from deadly to corny in seconds and would often just scream bullseye whenever he was at a loss of anything else to utter. 9. Ryan Gosling in Gangster Squad. He may have broke onto the scene with an adaptation of a Nicholas Sparks novel, but Ryan Gosling has proven himself to be one of the most daring and creative actors in Hollywood. He's unafraid to turn himself into a monster, unafraid to alter his body. He doesn't serve one clear image of himself. Unfortunately, 2013's Gangster Squad was a huge miscalculation for the young actor. Sporting a bizarre and shrill accent and a really timid demeanor, Gosling uncharacteristically shrunk into this role. His chemistry with Emma Stone was non-existent, and his trademark depth was traded in for a much broader style. But it was really his voice that made this role such a head-scratcher. He whisper-squeaked his way to the movie to what exactly? No one knows. 8. Russell Crowe in Les Miserables. Like a drunk at a funeral, Russell Crowe walked into a very staley Tom Hooper-directed adaptation of Les Mis, wanting to sing, but not quite being able. Only, Crowe wasn't drunk. He just can't sing. Which makes Hooper's decision to have his cast sing live and on set and use those recordings for the final product seem a bit misguided, because, you know, Russell can't sing, and when placed next to the likes of a singing and dancing veteran like Hugh Jackman, it's all more obvious. When he's invested, Crowe is still one of the best actors out there, but that's the thing, he's a great actor, he's not a Broadway star, and with a role that depended on booming voice, he just couldn't make the transition. 7. Forrest Whitaker in Battlefield Earth. Battlefield Earth doesn't get to have redeeming qualities. Chief among the offenses, the action. Take your pick: John Travolta, Barry Pepper, Forrest Whitaker. We pick Forrest. His performance is completely exaggerated, with a manic laugh ripped from the B-roll of a third-rate Scooby-Doo ripoff. It's goofy and stilted, which is something like physical handicap trying to have a laugh, but it can't, because it's not a person. 6. Cate Blanchett in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's more than enough blame to go around when it comes to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but we'd remiss to not mention Cate Blanchett as the villainess Irina Spalko. This Soviet baddie was an irritating caricature of the highest order. Her efficient communist haircut and thick accent left no room for subtlety, as Spalko seemed like she should be chasing around a moose and a squirrel, rather than showing up in Indiana Jones' flick. It's a shame that Blanchett and Spielberg decided to go so broad with the character, because she's more than capable of pulling off a menacing villain without resorting to cartoonish conventions. 5. Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. Leaving the brooding subtlety in the trailer, Tommy Lee Jones tackled the role of Two-Face in Batman Forever with so much scorn, we should call him a subsidized fawn. With face smeared pink and frame decked out in a bleeding suit, this schizophrenic villain was supposed to be a dark mirror image of Batman. However, Jones played him literally bouncing around the set. He made Jim Carrey look sad in comparison. Do you understand how hard it is? 4. Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. Cage spent most of the movie screaming at the top of his lungs at pagan women, then physically assaulting them, oftentimes unprovoked, dressing up in a cheap bear costume, and of course, screaming his head off during the infamous bees scene. It's a sight to behold, especially because Cage being crazy can work. Wild at Heart is proof of this, but it only works when the film demands it, and The Wicker Man wants to be a sweet-faced horror flick. 3. Jim Carrey in The Number 23. The premise of the paranoid crackpot thriller number 23 ain't half bad, as any paranoid can tell you. When you look for connections between random events, you can definitely find them. And so we have Jim Carrey obsessing over the number and its impact on his life. As a leading man, Carrey is surprisingly flat, letting his hair do most of the crazy for him. If director Joel Schumacher wanted crazy hair to do the crazy in the movie, he should have hired Carrey to dub. 2. Robert De Niro in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. The Robert De Niro of old isn't the Robert De Niro we have now. A series of strange career choices turned his legendary talent into a fading star, with movies like Righteous Kill and the Focus trilogy turning him into a goofy caricature. But none of those choices were as cringe-worthy as his turn as the fearless leader in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's hard to imagine that Travis Bickle himself would choose such a campy, irritating part to play, but this was no joke. We don't know if the money was just so good to turn down, or if De Niro just had a passion for lame adaptations of great cartoons, but this movie hit theaters with a thud. De Niro is a horror, devoid of life and humor. He isn't a comic actor in this way, but only he doesn't know it. 1. George Clooney in Batman and Robin. The failures of Batman and Robin are well documented. Scores of comic book fans cannot make peace with this debacle. So, knowing full well that we are flogging a rotten horse carcass, we again submit George Clooney as Batman and Bruce Wayne as a crime against humanity. To play Bruce Wayne, George Clooney acts smug. To play Batman, George Clooney acts smug. He smiles in that small tight way that made him famous on ER. It's a hurtful smile because it lets you know that you aren't shit. As an older man, Clooney has adjusted the smile so that it no longer hurts. But here, the damage is in full effect. He's a mess behind terrible one-liners like "This is why Superman works alone" and "Hey freeze, the heat is on." Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, press subscribe button for more awesome videos. And for more information, follow us on Facebook and Instagram.